Hi, this is Little Dwarf playing games while rambling incoherently into a microphone. Why? Well, just because I can, and I continue with Mass Effect 3 Legendary Edition.
Welcome, Commander Shepard. Please select a destination. One moment.
Now, last time, Arya asked me to help her
Now arriving at Docking Bay E-24, emergency civilian housing.
Arya asked me to help consolidate the gangs of Omega under her leadership, and I am a bit conflicted on that. Those gangs are scum, but and at least in one case, it would require possibly breaking the chief of Eclipse out of prison, which I do believe she's in there for a reason. But the one thing I didn't really consider last time was the fact that those gangs are still operating even without their leaders, and in fact bringing them under Arya's leadership might limit their destructive potential, because as much as Arya likes to create herself as some kind of a ruthless criminal leader, she actually has a conscience. It might not line up perfectly with your everyman's sort of business as usual casual civilian conscience, but it is a conscience nonetheless. She isn't actually heartless. So I think I might actually do it, or at least explore the options. Talk with the leaders of the gangs, and see what I can do.
Leo is on Earth, a beautiful city. You should visit. I was on my boat when, boom, the sky went black, dust and ash. A giant metal wall rushed down. I fell into the river.
Do you humans ever stop talking?
When I climbed out, I heard screaming. The metal wall started to move, and I realized it was a leg. Only one of the Reaper's legs.
Okay, Darner Vosk is the leader of the Eclipse. Let's see what he wants.
Wow. Arya wasn't kidding. The great Commander Shepard on a leash.
I'm here for my own reasons, Vosk.
Oh, sure you are. Anyway, tell her I'm impressed, but to do business, I still need my little problem taken care of.
Which is?
A Turian general named Oraka has it out for the Blue Suns. He's raising a stink over our activity in this sector. I'll commit my gang to Arya as soon as Oraka's dead.
There must be more to Oraka's complaint.
We're just making little raids along trading routes. With Arya's blessing, I might add. Oraka's just some military fossil who came out of retirement to relive the glory days and justify his existence. Losing him won't affect your war in the least, but gaining the Blue Suns... well, you know our work.
Well, I won't commit murder for them, that's for sure.
You seriously think I'll assassinate a Turian general?
Arya seems to think so. Or else, why would she send you? She knew the price. The two of you work it out. Oh, and, tell Arya I still expect her blue ass in bed with me.
What is it, Shepard?
You knew about this?
Can you be more specific?
Darner Vosk expects me to kill General Oraka.
Who cares what Vosk wants? What he needs is for Oraka to stop disrupting his operations. I figured you'd talk to Oraka, see if you can get him to lay off. And if he won't listen to reason, call me, and I'll take care of it.
I don't see the distinction.
The distinction is that I'm giving you the chance to save his life.
Right. Why didn't you just tell me this yourself?
Vosk suffer that scumbag staring at my tits one more time, I might have to kill him.
Yeah, he mentioned...
That I'm going to sleep with him? We all have our delusions.
So where is General Oraka actually? And you know, the way she frames it, it actually seems like she's going to kill him.
We just got a report that another ship made it off Palaven. How many on board? 30 or 40 survivors. That's all. They said the fighting's getting worse. Well, let's find some room for them. This is going to be home for a while.
She's going to kill him anyway, so it might actually be better for him if I try to convince her, find a way to deal with Oraka. Yeah, but where even is he?
The Alliance military has abandoned the Hades Gamma cluster to incoming Reaper forces. Fierce fighting continues as the Reapers occupy most of Palaven. It appears that Turian forces may lose their planet.
Okay, the quest log is really not that helpful.
Welcome, Commander Shep. One moment, please. Now arriving at Docking Bay D-24.
Force appears to be the same that attacked those planets. According to the Council, these galaxy-wide attacks are part of a massive and organized invasion.
I'm sorry, honey. I didn't want you to worry. Chances are, I'll never even need to put on armor.
I know, and I'm sorry. That's what you get for marrying a civilian.
Are you and the girls going to be okay? Combat pay isn't as much.
Okay, listen to that already.
Hades Gamma cluster to incoming Reaper forces.
Welcome, Commander Shep. One moment, please. Now arriving at Presidium Embassy.
Yes, his squad did return. I could, but they ignored me, refused to even look me in the eye.
The Psi intelligence is reporting sightings of Reaper forces in the Selene Nebula and the Nimbus cluster. Is under attack.
Hello, ma'am. What can I do for you today?
Such a nice young woman. You remind me of someone. Well, I'm looking for my son. He's a soldier, you know.
I know. Please, Teresa, are you sure you don't remember me?
Calling me by my first name is very forward of you, young lady. I'd rather you didn't do that.
Sorry. I'm so sorry. I must have confused you with someone else.
Oh, no worries, dear. Now, perhaps you can help me. I'm looking for my son. He's a soldier. He's been gone for a long while now.
Where is that general? I don't rightly know, to be honest. Commander Bailey is here, which I do need to talk to him as well. So I will. Okay, ultralight materials for the sniper rifle. This is going to be pretty useful because my current sniper rifle is very heavy. Okay, let's talk to Bailey.
Shepard, to what do I owe the pleasure?
Here to talk about you releasing Jona Sideris.
Damn, you too? Somebody got the council to order her release. I'm delaying as best I can. What's your stake in this?
It's classified.
That's a fancy way of saying mind your own business. Look, there's no way I'm letting that psychopath out. The woman's unstable and a clear public threat.
What makes you think she's crazy?
She was a ruthless sadist before she got caught. Her imprisonment has cracked the shell off the nut.
Maybe freedom will improve her.
She rages day and night, Shepard, calling for the deaths of all Eclipse enemies. No, freedom will only give her the chance to kill.
Well, I'll talk with her and be the judge of that.
I'd like access to her to judge for myself.
Sure thing. I'm sure you'll agree. Then maybe the council will listen to you and rescind the order. Go to the C-Sec outpost. My assistant will connect to Sideris' cell from there. Then call me back.
C-Sec outpost in the Presidium.
Let me know when you've had a chance to talk to Sideris.
Okay.
Welcome, Commander Shepard. One moment, please. Now arriving at Presidium Commons.
Commander Shepard. It's been some time. Barlavon, in case you've forgotten. Financial advisor. And an acquaintance of Admiral Anderson. I admire the courage it took for him to stay and fight on your home world.
You used to be an agent for the Shadow Broker.
I still am. The broker has been exceedingly busy lately. A team of his guards have become stranded in a Reaper-controlled territory. Rescue the guards, and they're yours. The Shadow Broker fully supports your efforts against the Reapers.
Are you passing on the location of these mercs for free?
Their leader's offering a handsome commission for their rescue. Everyone wins, Commander. Come see me once you've completed the extraction. I'll be in my office a while longer. The galactic market is in considerable flux. I had plans to return to Arun, but business here keeps luring me back. Perhaps it's for the best, all things considered. Take the time to admire how well they repaired the Citadel after Sovereign attacked. The Presidium's reconstruction cost was astronomical, but worth every credit. I can get by on very little sleep. My office will be open when you return. Hello again, Commander. I had plans to return to Arun, but business here...
Have you decided how to tell him?
I don't know. A text message is so impersonal. He's off risking his life. He deserves more than that. I could record something, but I hate leaving vid messages. I always get flustered.
Maybe you need a script.
Or maybe I need to get him on a vid call so I can do it face to face.
Who knows when he'll be deployed somewhere with an open comm channel. He knew it'd be hard to communicate when he left you here.
Well, I think if you're planning to break up with your husband in the middle of him being deployed into combat, the least you can do is wait until he can talk to you.
Intelligence is reporting sightings of Reaper forces in the Seyn Nebula and the Nimbus cluster. The Hanar homeworld, Kaje, has reiterated its support for Council forces.
Quick, hands behind your back. We'll be here any minute.
What the hell are you talking about?
Crete, Bloodpack's leader. Arya brings him the great Commander Shepard. Crete pledges the gang to her. We're just luring him into the open so we can take him out.
Not the best start to our friendship, Narl.
He's coming. Put your hands behind your back and try to look like I beat you up or something.
If this goes wrong, it's your ass.
Quiet.
Arya to look even more powerful than Crete thought. Her instructions on boarding Citadel undetected were one thing. Now this.
Commander Shepard, want you to know, your head will be hood ornament on my personal shuttle.
Keep your distance, Creed. So, do you agree to Arya's terms?
Most definitely. Arya can use Bloodpack as she sees fit.
Wasn't talking to you, Creed. Grill?
What? You have my word. Now open fire!
Not him. Grill's next in line to take over. Arya's deal is with him.
Yes. I'm Arya's mole, Shepard. You've scratched my back. Now I'll scratch yours.
Word of advice. Don't double-cross Arya.
I may be ambitious, but I'm not crazy.
Uh-huh. Good work, Narl. Thanks for the gun.
Anytime, Shepard. Grill and I will let Arya know the light is green.
Ilium is under attack, although the Asari colony is across the galaxy from Paladin.
I still have no idea where Septimus Oraka is.
Real?
Real prefab shelters and cheap nutrient paste,
According to the Council, these galaxy
profit margin must be higher than a Hanor's water bill.
How can you think about profits at a time like this?
The Council called the invaders
What's your name, dear?
the same term once used by
Sarah?
a disgraced commander to refer to
Sarah, have you ever heard of Elkos Combine?
Sure. Don't they make, everything?
has abandoned Hades Gamma Cluster to
Rube
incoming Reaper
Elkos.
forces.
Pleasure to meet you.
Fierce fighting continues as the Reapers occupy
Man, you look horrible.
I'm willing to bet you look worse than I do.
Yeah, well, did you hear about the chemical fire and those kids from level E24 that they brought in last night?
Yeah, I was there when they brought them in.
Shit. I am so sorry. I shouldn't have brought that up. Look, if you need anything...
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay, he's here. Not quite sure how was I supposed to know that. They didn't really say.
Commander Shepard.
General Oraka. I think we met in Korra's den. You were pretty miserable, if I recall.
Yes, neck deep in drink just before I retired. I'm clean now, reinstated.
I hear you're taking on the Blue Suns.
I need to do my part for the Citadel, Commander. The Blue Suns are raiding C-Sec weapons shipments. I'm putting a stop to that. Those mercs are seriously jeopardizing the Citadel's ability to defend itself if the war comes here. When the war comes here.
There are other ways to secure weapons, General.
You don't think I've tried? There's a black market dealer on Citadel right now, but he won't sell his top-line arms. The Reapers are destroying everything in their path, and I can't stop them. But I can stop the Blue Suns.
Let me see what I can do for you.
I'd appreciate your help, and I'll have a plan of action ready if things fall through. Commander, unless you can find a new source of weapons for C-Sec, I'm putting together a task force to stop the Blue Suns myself.
Place a kill order. No.
I'll get you your weapons, General.
I appreciate the effort, but I've spent too much time out of action, Commander. Won't be able to sit on my hands much longer.
Okay, so where is that weapons dealer actually? Because, again, he didn't quite tell me, did he?
Is it time to return to the Normandy? I'm getting propositioned with increasing frequency.
Okay, that's him, I guess.
Look, Commander, I don't want any trouble. I'm authorized to sell here, and all my arms are legal, see?
These are lightweight weapons. Where's your top-end inventory?
Shit, you slumming for C-Sec too? I already got harassed by the old Turian with a bad attitude. Yeah, I got much better stuff, but it's off the market. Galaxy's going belly up. Credit won't mean anything once the Reapers rip through.
So what exactly are you saying?
Whatever happens, I figure there'll be survivors, but it'll be chaos. I'm betting things will run on a barter system. So I'm getting a jump. My best stock only trades for hard goods and artifacts with real value.
So, what gets me access to your top shelf?
Heh, Turian just waved credits in my face and then spat on it. Nice to see you have flexibility. If you find any rare pieces when you're out saving the galaxy, bring them back. Then I'm happy to share my top stock with C-Sec, no problem. Outside of that, I gotta stick to my guns. Credits don't talk with me, Commander. C-Sec wants my top of the line. You gotta come through with a couple artifacts. Credits don't talk with me, Commander. C-Sec wants my top of the line. You gotta come through with a couple artifacts.
Yeah, I guess I don't have them then. At the time being. The quest log is really not that helpful in this game.
I've connected with Jona Sideris in her cell, Commander. You can speak with her via that console.
Thanks. We'll need some privacy.
Of course. When you're done, you can also contact Commander Bailey from that terminal.
Who's that spying on me now? Ah, I see. Good. Arya's indentured servant has finally come to deliver me to freedom.
I want to talk with you before I secure your release.
Bullshit. You have no choice. And when I get out, heads will roll. Oh, yes. You've killed a lot of my people. Don't think I've forgotten that.
You have to move on.
And I will, once all my enemies are dead. I love holding all the cards. Even in here, you must deal with me. I have all the power.
Is that right?
Yes, Seyn, my second in command, is a weak-willed toady. If he had balls, he'd leave me to rot and take control himself. But he won't defy me. He knows better. Now get me out of here, Shepard. Tell Bailey to release me.
Bailey, I've seen Sideris.
So she's crazy, right? It would be ridiculous to let her out.
She's a menace. Let me try to make this problem go away.
Sounds good. I'll hold the line until I hear from you.
Okay, so I need to find her second in command and convince him to turn on her. There is a guy who looks like Eclipse in the refugee camp.
Commander, unless you can find a new source of weapons for C-Sec, I'm putting together a task force to stop the Blue Suns myself.
I'll get you your weapons, General.
I appreciate the effort, but
The Alliance military has abandoned the Hades Gamma cluster to incoming Reaper forces. Fierce fighting continues as the Reapers occupy most of Palma.
Welcome, Commander Shepard. Please select a destination. One moment, please. Now arriving at Docking Bay E-24, emergency civilian housing.
The invading force appears to be the same that attacked those planets.
Okay, so that's not him. So I guess I was mistaken. He must be somewhere else.
Can I ask, where were you when the Reapers...
Would you shut up?
I'm sorry?
I don't want to hear it. You humans think you had it rough? You know what happened on Karshan?
My apologies. I thought, since your homeworld...
Stop! Just stop!
Hades Gamma cluster to incoming Reaper forces. Fierce fighting continues as the Reapers occupy most of Palaven. It appears that
Oh, he is in here.
What about the food we were promised? It's been allocated to the Presidium. Then contact Commander Bailey over at C-Sec. Tell him Garrus Vicarium would consider it a personal favor if he could reallocate the shipment so these people don't starve.
Men, get ready for trouble.
Not here for that, Seyn. Just want to talk about Jona Sideris' release.
Oh, you're the one coordinating that, right? My idea, you know. Arya came to me looking to gain Eclipse support. I'm leveraging it to bust the boss out.
Seyn, you should run Eclipse.
Huh?
You can do it. Leave Sideris locked up and make the deal with Arya yourself.
Arya would be a step up. And you think she'd let me run things?
I don't see why not.
Right. Right. Then that's the plan. Keep Sideris in jail. I'll call Arya right away.
Good man.
Okay, so I guess I'm supposed to go to her now, right? I will do that. I still need the artifacts for the Blue Suns, but I'll talk with her to wrap up the Bloodpack involvement and the Eclipse involvement.
Shepard, the Council withdrew the release order for Sideris. Arya T'Loak, of all people, got him to do it. Crazy.
You can say that again.
Thanks for your help, Shepard.
Although maybe I don't have to. Let's see if it's still in the journal. No. Okay, so I'll just talk to her once I wrapped it all up.
Welcome, Commander Shepard.
For the
Please
time
select
being,
destination. 1 moment.
the only thing I have left to do on the Citadel is to visit Bryson's.
Now arriving at Presidium Commons.
I guess it doesn't matter how I do it. I just need to tell him about us.
Wait. Us?
You and me.
He doesn't need to know that. Wouldn't it be better for him to just know that you'd grown apart?
I thought I was supposed to be honest with him.
You are, but you're just being tactful, not rubbing it in.
I will go to Dr. Bryson's lab while I'm on the Citadel.
I want you to match this against all known locations and update the map. Then contact the field teams for a progress report.
Yes, sir.
Oh, Commander Shepard. We've been expecting you. Just a moment. And Hadley? Could you gather the Leviathan data for us? Apologies, Commander. The rest of my team is out investigating leads right now. I'm Dr. Bryson, and this is Task Force Aurora.
What's your assignment?
Our mandate is to investigate legends, rumors, old stories about the Reapers before anyone knew they existed.
That's an interesting goal, but is anyone doubting the Reapers exist these days?
The Alliance is still desperate for intelligence. Reaper motives, their operational tactics. Anything that can give us an edge.
And how did you wind up in charge?
When the rest of the galaxy says something doesn't exist, I take that as a chance to prove that it does.
So you're in it for the challenge?
For the truth. Even as late as 2148, humanity still thought aliens were a myth. That was within my lifetime. Once that myth was proven to be reality, our entire history changed.
Reapers were part of that reality too.
But even they have a history, Commander. If we can just uncover it, there may be a weakness we can exploit.
Could have used your help 3 years ago.
Yes. If people had paid more attention to your Prothean beacon, we might not be in this war. But now with new information we've uncovered, a breakthrough's near. Hadley, do you have the data?
No!
This is Commander Shepard. I need C-Sec at my location, now!
You shouldn't be here. The darkness can't be breached.
Transit records show his name is Derek Hadley. He's worked here for a couple months.
Shepard, I monitored a C-Sec alert from this location. Were you harmed?
I'm fine. But I could use your help sorting this out, Edie. Take a look through their files. I need to know what this task force was up to.
At once.
What? What's happening?
I think he's indoctrinated? I haven't actually played the Leviathan DLC, so I don't know.
You tell me.
I was gathering our data when you arrived, and then it was dark. Cold. Like I was someplace else.
And then?
I don't know! A gun was in my hand. Dr. Bryson, there was a loud noise.
That was you shooting him.
I didn't do it, it wasn't me! You have to believe that.
So someone else pulled that trigger?
But I would never do that!
Commander, this does resemble reports of indoctrination.
Indoctrination? Me?
What about that Leviathan Bryson mentioned? How does that tie in?
It's some kind of creature. Our field teams have been tracking it. That artifact came in from our researcher, Garneau. He sent an audio log if you wanna...
What's wrong?
Turn back.
What are you talking about?
The darkness cannot be breached.
Damn it. Get him over to the clinic. See if they can tell us what's wrong with him.
Yes, sir.
Commander, you'll want to see this. It's an outgoing message from Dr. Bryson to Admiral Hackett.
Dr. Bryson, you have an update?
Admiral, the Leviathan of Dis that we've been investigating, I think we're really onto something.
Give me the brief.
About 20 years ago, the Batarians discovered a Reaper corpse that had died in battle. They covered it up and denied it ever existed. But I'm intrigued by the larger implication.
What could have killed the Reaper in the first place?
Exactly. That's the real Leviathan.
It's worth pursuing. Continue your investigation and update me on the progress.
There is also a follow-up message from a few weeks later.
Admiral, the Reapers are shadowing my field teams as if they're hunting Leviathan themselves. Whatever it is, I believe Leviathan is nothing less than a Reaper killer. Almost an apex predator, and it has them nervous. If we could just find it, imagine the impact on the war. I'm formally requesting assistance in tracking it down.
You'll have it. This is now your top priority, Doctor. Find that thing.
It appears we were meant to be that assistance.
Anything capable of killing a Reaper could do a lot of collateral damage.
Yet given the state of this conflict, I believe the saying, "The enemy of my enemy is my friend," may be relevant.
But we won't know unless we can find it.
Bryson's assistant did say they recently received a log from their field researcher. It may yield more information.
Okay, the audio log is right here. Is there anything else that's interesting or useful? And this is the statue of a Krogan's head. And this is the map of the galaxy. Bryson experiment. This is a husk head. What's the connection? Okay, there's nothing else, so let's just listen to it.
This must be the artifact the assistant mentioned. And here's the log.
Dr. Bryson, it's Garneau. I'm sending you an artifact I found. About the only thing I found there, in fact. Maybe it's nothing, but I'd swear Leviathan came through here. I'm gonna crunch some numbers. Burn up the rest of this Project Travel allowance. Maybe I can project our Reaper killer's movements. I'll check in when I get to the next site.
Garneau appears to be our best lead to track Leviathan, but he does not state a destination.
Let's focus on what he does say then.
He mentioned extrapolating Leviathan's path.
And crunching numbers. He wasn't flying blind. He had data.
A significant amount of data. judging by this office.
So how do we narrow it down?
Bryson and his colleagues evidently used a galaxy map search program in their hunt for Leviathan. It may help us locate Garneau.
Does this tell us where Garneau went?
No, but we may be able to narrow down his location if we find clues he was using in his search for Leviathan.
Search the lab for clues.
Is this Prothean?
Yes. I believe Dr. Bryson and Liara would have had much to discuss.
Can you add a search filter for locations known to have Prothean ruins or artifacts?
Adding the search filter, you may examine the results on the galaxy map program.
Prothean artifacts.
No results. Some of our search parameters may be irrelevant. These are all murders in which the accused lacked a known motive and claimed memory loss.
Just like Bryson's assistant. You think Garneau was following a trail of blackout crimes?
It is possible. We need to find data matching dates and locations for crimes of this nature.
Prothean artifacts.
No results. Some of our search parameters may be irrelevant.
Here's the time and date chart for the crimes. Can you filter for murders where the killer claimed memory loss?
Adding this search filter to the galaxy map.
Blackout crimes?
No results. Some of our search parameters may be irrelevant.
Okay, this looks like a Reaper artifact. Oh, it's... Okay, that's super stupid. That's literally a fragment of the Sovereign from his attack on the Citadel.
Sovereign. Vanguard of our destruction. How's that working out for you, big guy?
And it has been proven by Mass Effect 2 that dead Reapers are still capable of indoctrination, so that's clearly not such a brilliant idea. Oh, that's a painting of a Reaper.
Sir, this is Bryson. We know the Reapers are after Leviathan. Studying Reaper hunting patterns could be vital to finding it.
That data is classified top secret, Dr. Bryson. If it falls into the wrong hands...
It won't. The data's encrypted. I'll keep the decryption key safe. Close to my heart.
Close to his heart? What the hell does that mean?
Maybe it's literally implanted into his body.
The Reaper fleet activity is encrypted, per Bryson's statement in the log.
He said he was keeping the decryption key close to his heart.
The Thorian, a life form discovered on Feros, provides fascinating insight into the life cycle of a truly alien species. Unlike conventionally intelligent life, it does not use mass relays. Prothean artifacts would not interest it. Commander Shepard claims that Reaper enemies cultivated life to evolve along the lines that they could predict. using technology the Reapers controlled. The Thorian is an exception to that rule. It evolved to use organic tools rather than conventional technology. Leviathan must be somehow similar to have survived undetected for so long. The Thorian used pain conditioning to control its victims, using them as manual labor, or even as a man would use his own hands and fingers. Commander Shepard claims that the Reapers do the same thing through a different process called indoctrination. Whatever Leviathan is, it must do something similar.
March 7th, 2186. I'm looking at the Rachni. Their movements during the Rachni Wars suggest alien influence. But the timing is wrong, and Rachni weren't implanted with Reaper tech. What if Leviathan was preparing the Rachni to fight the Reapers?
What do you think, Edie?
It is possible that Bryson's team is using ancient Rachni fleet activity to find Leviathan. If we can find data on the movement of ancient Rachni ships, it may help us narrow our search.
By Anne Bryson, age 9.
Records indicate Anne is now 28. She works for the Alliance.
Bryson was keeping the encryption key close to his heart. What's closer than family?
An interesting hypothesis, but I detect no trace of the decryption key in this art. Those appear to be sightings of ships that match Rachni signatures.
Can you add a cross-reference for locations of sightings?
Adding the search filter now.
Meteorite fragment, maybe?
He was studying it as an object of importance. We should look more closely at a sample.
Meteorite sample. With traces of element 0. Would Leviathan need ESO?
While it is not consumed as fuel during FTL travel, element 0 will decay after several centuries of active use. If Leviathan is old enough, it would need to replenish its supplies.
Okay. Can you give me a search filter for locations with element 0?
Adding it now.
Bryson was tracking unexplained creature sightings.
The photographs have a trace chemical residue. It may be visible under another light source. Bryson was not merely tracking sightings. He was attempting to extrapolate a course.
And Garneau could have been following that course. Edie, can you add a search filter for systems along that projected path?
Doing so now. Another piece of Anne Bryson's childhood art.
Wait a minute. Well, take a look at that.
I can use these numbers to construct a decryption key.
All right, let's get back to the datapad we found earlier.
Dr. Bryson, per your request, I'm clearing Task Force Aurora for intercepted Batarian communications regarding the Leviathan of Dis.
Commander, the Dreadnought is in custody, but the Solarians may have surveillance footage. Our ambassador will issue a full denial. Give me your preliminary analysis. Several million years old at least, and its technology outstrips anything on the Council. Excellent. Our scientists will work day and night to bring its secrets to the hegemony. One concern, Commander. The real Leviathan of Dis, the thing that destroyed the ship, is still out there, unaccounted for. Irrelevant. The ship is our priority. And as far as the rest of the galaxy is concerned, there is no Leviathan of Dis. There never was.
I guess this is Dr. Bryson with his daughter.
Decryption complete. Analyzing data. These movements do not match the standard invasion pattern. The Reapers are searching for something.
And I'll bet Garneau used this intel. Can you make a search filter for it?
Of course.
Alien sightings.
Based on the search results, Garneau is in one of these 5 systems. I have marked the Normandy map with possible locations. We can leave now, unless you wish to further narrow the search.
Rachni activity.
No results. Some of our search parameters may be irrelevant. 5 possible systems.
Element 0 deposits.
Three possibilities.
Reaper activity.
We have a match, marking the galaxy map.
Good. Let's go find Garneau.
Okay, let's return to the Normandy. And see what I have to do. Well, obviously this is the main mission. Kite's Nest. Calliston Rift. Okay, this is where the Leviathan DLC goes. Crescent Nebula, Ismar Frontier. Petra Nebula. Is there anything here? Okay, I think I have only 2 minor systems unexplored, which are those 2 for the time being. So let's go here. Okay, is that where Grissom Academy was? Yes. Okay, so I explored this then. And let's explore the rest of this. Maklan is the outermost planet in the Indris system, a ball of rock and ice with a methane-argon atmosphere. Like Hiba, it has an unstable orbit, but where Hiba is believed to have formed closer to the star and gradually moved out, Maklan is believed to have formed further from Indris and moved inward. Far in the future, Maklan may become a satellite of its gas giant neighbor. Caver Station. Alliance intelligence reports that there was once a sizable military space station trailing Hiba that was tasked with arming and refueling ships to repel pirates, slave revolts and foreign invasion. The Reapers wasted little time in destroying it during their conquest of Kamala. And the hydrogen-helium gas giant Hiba has an unstable orbit, which over time has led it to clearing the space around it of asteroids and protoplanetary material. As a result, the rings are thick and quite visible. Ramlat is a small rock planet with a thin atmosphere of hydrogen and ethane. During the rush to exploit Kamala for ESO and other materials, Ramlat supported a small but steadily growing population. Since the system was bereft of a significant asteroid belt, Ramlat became the go-to location for second-tier miners looking to work. Its tin and gold industry was modestly profitable before the Reaper attack. Today, it is a wasteland scarred by the craters of kinetic impact weapons. Hollis is a large rock planet weathered in haze of carbon dioxide and xenon. It was discovered by Batarian astronomers during the last century and first visited in 2150s by the Hegemony survey teams. A small number of colonists lived in aerostat habitats above its oppressive cloud layer, harvesting carbon dioxide. No habitats can be detected now. It is likely that the Reapers eliminated them or the colonists submerged into the scorching atmosphere in an attempt to hide. Kamala is a relatively small but ESO-rich garden world recently colonized by the Batarians. In an unusually open gesture, the Batarians allowed immigration of free citizens of other species as long as they came from independent colony planets such as those in Traverse and the Terminus and retained non-citizen status during their stay. These strictures were small obstacles contained to the economic lure of ESO, and soon the planet boasted spaceports and refineries that considerably enriched the hegemony. The planet enjoyed relative peace and prosperity, with the major lifestyle inconvenience being water shortages due to dry climate. The Reaper invasion has turned Kamala's cities from affluent oases into a living nightmare. Alliance intelligence suggests that early into the Reaper invasion, a high percentage of the planet's population was captured and converted to husk creatures for future offensives. The processing camps still run night and day, and the troop transports fly legions of cannibals out every hour. For this reason, Alliance Command has put Kamala squarely in its sights for military strikes. Colony founded in 2154, population 2,875,000, capital Uyon.
I found something. Reapers eluded. Faster than light jump successful.
Erzbrat was a wealthy Batarian colony, rich in farmland, minerals and manufacturing infrastructure. Little recent information about it has escaped this section of space, but radio traffic from the planet paints a dire picture. Indoctrinated Batarian officials are offering rewards for every living body brought into the labor camps, slave or not. With the state apparatus at their disposal, Reaper units are coordinated house-to-house hunts for resistance members and paying those who turn them in. Government propaganda dismisses the smell of the processing ships as a natural byproduct of Reaper energy consumption. Columns of dust from annihilated cities tell the story of those who disobeyed. Azimir is a hydrogen-helium gas giant whose gravitational pull perturbs the orbit of the two nearby asteroid fields, adding momentum so that asteroids shatter during collision rather than accrete into planets. Debris from a great battle can be seen here. Batarian naval ships, merchant ships, and a few Reaper destroyers have been pounded into wreckage. It appears that the Batarian Navy tried to defend the Helium-3 refueling stations, giving civilian ships time to escape the system. A large rock planet, Vanna is covered in prodigious amounts of dry ice, leaving only thin traces of gas for its atmosphere. Uranium deposits drew Batarian miners to Vanna long ago, and when they were exhausted, they moved on to its magnesium. The Reapers have exterminated the colony here, punching holes into the domed cities and leaving its occupants to asphyxiate.
Signal confirmed. Evasion successful.
Oh, I guess there's still something in the Shrike Abyssal? Okay, let's go there then.
Reapers eluded.
A hydrogen-helium gas giant, Xerxes' many moons were developed with the colonization of Atal-Kiril. It is believed that the majority of them were military in nature, a common theme among Turian colonies. Specifics are few. Al-Kiril's government kept its records classified, and the Reapers have systematically destroyed the installations here. Garan is the innermost planet of the Tal system, which is less than 2.56 million kilometers from its K-class parent star. Temperatures on the sunward side of this tidally locked planet are more than 2,800 Celsius, boiling away earth and stone. These gases are then carried away by the wind from the hottest point of the zone, where temperatures are cool enough for the gaseous mixture to recondensate, leading to the unusual weather phenomenon of raining rocks. Garan remains largely unexploited by commercial interests, as the heat of the star tends to ward off all but well-funded corporation ships like the so-called Inferno class that mine ESO near energetic stars. Garan does not appear to have ESO, and its other elements are not worth the setup cost. A large terrestrial, Saraid's methane-rich atmosphere might be mistaken for that of a true hothouse planet. However, some terraforming corporations have targeted it for development, since Saraid has already given rise to some cyanobacteria in the liquid water that can be found near its poles. There is some evidence that the planet has been fluctuating between methane-heavy and oxygen-heavy atmospheres for several million years, each cycle dependent on the nutrients in the ocean that led to bacterial growth or crashes. Star charts catalog several scientific stations studying Saraid, but they appear to all have been destroyed by the Reapers. Atal-Kiril is a garden world on the outer edge of the star's habitable zone. The planet is largely frozen, yet it features native dextroamino acid-based life in the lower latitudes. The specifics these species evolved to withstand the periodic freezing and compensate for the cold with spectacular population explosions during the long, mild summers. Hardy independent-minded Turians colonized the planet. The Quarians briefly considered contesting them, but were daunted by the virulence of the planet's infectious life during the growing season, not to mention the colonists who had ties to warlords elsewhere in the Shrike Abyssal. Atal-Kirur's citizens were wiped out by the Reaper bombardments, despite the planet having a reasonably high population, which would usually make it a candidate for harvesting. Allied intelligence suggests that the colonists kept anti-space defense weaponry in population centers, so the Reapers limited the risk by destroying the threat and moving on. Colony founded in 2021, population 13.5 million, capital Estivus Erax.
I found something.
Tyrix, one of the largest objects in the Thal asteroid belt, is a metallic asteroid with an iron-nickel core under a rocky olivine mantle. It is possibly a remnant protoplanet prevented from forming into anything bigger by the gravitational disturbances from Xeroko. The methane ammonia gas giant was swept past during the Reaper invasion, and once its helium-3 equipment was destroyed, it was largely ignored. Vorcha ships that survived the attacks on Heshtok and Lithrat can be found discharging their drive cores before making spy sorties or retreating further into space. The hydrogen-helium gas giant Lithrat was the site of a brief and decisive battle between the Vorcha and the Reaper forces. It was impolitically characterized on the news of it as a millennia-old death machines versus a gang of teenagers, a reference to the Vorcha's brief lifespans and inexperience. In reality, many of the ships were commanded by other species to avoid this shortcoming, but the insult still sticks. The defenders outnumbered the Reapers, but their force was comprised of light ships suitable to a militia, since never before had it been to anyone's best interest to allow Vorcha to build a dreadnought. Superior Reaper firepower soon wiped out the Vorcha fleet, and the fuel infrastructure around Lyrat was pulverized. Rumors abound that the Reapers did not lose a single ship. A lifeless desert, Parask was colonized soon after first contact with the Vorcha. Several Asari mining corporations, working with a Siari-based charity called Mind and Hand, built settlements on the planet's surface and orbital stations. Adopting Vorcha orphans from Heshtok, they raised them to a life of to live non-violent lives and employed them in the mining industry. While Mind and Hand's efforts were at first labeled colonialist, the orphans became minor celebrities when it was discovered that the Vorcha habit of using violence to communicate was not completely innate. Several spoke throughout the Citadel space on behalf of their species, but their short lifespan kept their careers very brief. Even today, companies that want Vorcha labor have poor choice between adopting and educating them as youngsters just to watch them age and die, or dealing with autonomous but violent adults. The Reaper invasion devastated Parask. Its industrial capacity was ruthlessly targeted, and the Vorcha mining communities were exterminated. The only silver lining is that the deaths here were created martyrs, inspiring other alien-raced Vorcha to fight for their galaxy. Nazkral is a small, hot, tidally locked inner planet that had modest mineral development on its dark side. Within a generation after the Vorcha's first contact with spacefaring species, robo-mining interests attempted to exploit it, only to find the trading partners violently overthrown on a regular basis. The Vorcha's own culture disenfranchised them in Nazkral's case, as their legal claims to the planet were invariably backed up by violence as a show of dominance. This nuance was lost on the mining corporations, who hired mercenaries to guard their operations with lethal force and never surrendered it to Vorcha claimants. The Reapers have sent a small force to destroy Nazkral's orbital stations and surface facilities. There is no indication that there are any survivors. A Systems Alliance official once summarized his tour to the Vorcha homeworld as follows: "You can make your own hashtag in 2 steps. Take Hell and then add Vorcha. The planet is highly volcanically active, leading to periodic releases of toxic gases into the air and water supplies, as well as other extreme situations that give rise to the Vorcha's legendary adaptability. Overcrowding and the extermination of most of their ecology led to a planet covered in weeds and hardy vermin. The Vorcha do not have a recognized single government that would allow them membership in any galactic league. Alliances between bloodlines are tenuous at best, and the Vorcha's short, violent lives ensure there are few lasting institutions. The Reaper invasion of Heshtok encountered little formal military resistance, but the harvesting process is slow. Destroying neighboring cities fails to intimidate the Vorcha, who becomes submissive only if physically dominated in person. Cutting off the water supply simply makes them adapt their bodies to get moisture from food. Allied intelligence hypothesizes that Reaper forces are not harvesting yet, instead seeking to immobilize Heshtok's population and prevent them from joining the fight for the galaxy at large. Population: lack of census data spreads estimates from 6.0 to 9.3 billion. Capital: Hatash disputed.
Signal confirmed. Faster than light jump successful.
Okay, I will explore those 2 minor systems, but I'll do it next time. For now, I'm going to save and end it for now. That's all for this one, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!